Welcome back to Red Hot Wrestling. We are finally in 2024. It is the 1st of January and it is day one Raw. It is the day one edition of Monday Night Raw. And let's just say Triple H is about to cook. He's about to cook. The last couple of Raws have been great. He's been on a really good hot streak in terms of Raw shows. Besides that one where CM Punk returned and Randy returned, which was kind of um, disappointing, I will say. But then again, he wasn't running the show. He was in Warner Brothers Discovery. It was Bruce, so understandable there. So he's about to cook the day one edition of Monday Night Raw. I'm very excited. Like really missed professional wrestling. Well, WWE. I did watch AEW. Almost said All Out. It wasn't All Out. It was, oh man, what's it called? What was the pay per view called? Um, World's End. There we go. World's End. Wasn't great. I'm not a very big AEW fan, but I only did. To be honest, I only watched the matches I wanted to watch, which is Adam Copeland versus Christian, and the main event to see was the Devil. So in that respect, I enjoyed myself because I kind of skipped through everything. I watched it later after the pay per view had obviously aired. So I got to watch what I wanted to watch. But again, week of no professional wrestling. It sucked. There's been 2 weeks since I've watched Raw, since Raw or SmackDown. Obviously, we have SmackDown on Friday, so I can't wait for that as well. Which again, New Year's Revolution edition of SmackDown. But here we're here to preview and talk about what's gonna happen at the day one edition of Raw. There's a lot of stuff to be excited about. And again, if you saw Triple H's tweet, a former WWE champion is going to be at the show. Who is it going to be? Who do I think is going to be? And what do I think is going to take place in terms of the matches that have already been put in place, that have already been pre-advertised, that we know are going to happen? Ivy Nile versus Rhea Ripley for the Women's World Championship. The tag team women's match, which I don't give a fuck about, but we'll get to it. It's not going to be a very long discussion between Natalia and Tegan Knox and Zoe Starks and Shayna Baszler. And then we have Nia Jax versus Becky Lynch. And then we have Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre for the World Heavyweight Championship, which I'm very excited for that, the main event of the day one edition of Raw. And I think a lot of stuff is going to happen at the end of the show. We'll get to it. We'll get to it. Before we do, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell so you're notified when I upload another video. Let's get to it. Like I said, let's get excited. I mean, it's been so long, and I definitely missed WWE product, wrestling, Raw, SmackDown. I mean, came at a great time. Cincinnati Bengals lost yesterday to the Kansas City Chiefs. Big rivalry game. Fucking pissed me the fuck off. I'm still pissed off now. Talking a lot of trash, but I'm not gonna get into that. This is not the place to vent. The first match I want to talk about is the women's tag team match, because we want to get that out the way, because who gives a fuck about that? We want to get it out the way. It's the women's tag team match between Natalia, Tegan Knox, and Shayna Baszler and Zoe Starks. I don't know if this is number one contenders match. I can see Triple H trying to build this division, but I'm just trying to actually, we'll get to that. I'll talk about that later. But I don't know if this is number one contenders match for the women's tag team title. I don't care. Like I stated, like I don't care about the women's tag team titles. If I'm going to be honest with you guys, I don't care that much. Triple H is trying to build it. He's trying to make it matter. Katana Chance, Kaden Carter have the titles, and I will see what they can do. They're very athletic, very small, minuscule people, but very athletic. So we'll see what Triple H can do. But I don't care for this match. If I'm being honest with you, I don't. I'm not going to care. Probably on my phone during this match, but it's happening. Who's gonna win? I don't know. It'll probably be Shayna Baszler and Zoe Starks, just because I don't think they're gonna take the pin. Zoe Starks was put in a high-profile, I don't want to say feud program with Rhea Ripley going to Survivor Series, had a women's world championship match there. I don't think they're gonna pin her. I don't think they want to pin Shayna Baszler. Tegan Knox, Natalia. Natalia's probably gonna eat the pin, because who gives a fuck about Natalia in 2023? Who gives a fuck? Why is she on television? Love you, Triple H. Love what you do. I know you got you gotta get things going. But Natalia on television should not be happening in 2023, and that's another thing. If you didn't watch my wish list video, in terms of what I want to see in 2024, less Natalia. That's another thing. Less Natalia on the show. Hopefully, some women from next year get called up, and we don't have to see Natalia on the show anymore. Tiffany Stratton, got that on Raw, please. Jade Cargill might be ready, but by that time as well, next year she might be in the Rumble. But we're not gonna get into that. So this tag team match, don't care. Be honest with you guys, don't give the slightest of fucks about this match. Whoever wins doesn't really matter. Zoe Starks, Shayna Baszler will probably win the match. Probably going to a program for the tag team titles. Do they win the titles? I don't know. Do I care? Not really. So that is that. Then, like I said, we have Rhea Ripley versus Ivy Nile for the Women's World Championship. And again, hasn't been much. I'm trying to think back as to why this match is happening, and it is because oh yeah, the Creed brothers. I almost said Afro Kevin. That's not the case. The Creed brothers and Judgment Day had match, and yeah, it kind of makes sense. I don't know much about Ivy now in terms of in ring. Haven't really seen her. Like I said, even with the Creed brothers, didn't really watch much of NXT. I did see some highlights of them. Very athletic, very good. But in terms of Ivy now, I don't know much about her. I'm excited to see what she's got, what she can do in the ring, what she can do with Rhea Ripley. This could be the Royal Rumble match, or Rhea Ripley might not defend at the Rumble, because I'm trying to think right now with the two Royal Rumble matches, with Seth probably defending against Drew again, the third and final time at the Rumble, with Roman defending against whoever wins the Triple Threat match on Friday. That is four matches, two Rumbles, the two World Title matches. That's the four matches right there. I don't know if Gunther has a match. He might. I know they're doing something with the Intercontinental Championship. There might be some kind of fatal four-way or something, because Adam Pearce has been talking about it for like the last couple of weeks in backstage segments, like kind of slightly and stuff. Hasn't been like big thing, but that they might have like a number one contenders match, which might end up at the Rumble, might happen next week and not this tonight's Raw. So they might have the IC title match. So that's like five. They might have another SmackDown match on there, and that'll probably be the card six. And she might not defend. There might be a WWE Women's Championship match with Io Sky on the show instead of Rhea. So she might not even defend at the Rumble. So this could just be like a one and done. It could lead to another match at the Rumble. We know Rhea Ripley's going to retain, which again lies the big question in terms of the women's division on Raw. Luckily, we're getting to the end of the year. We're getting to Mania, and we know who's going to win the Rumble. It's either Becky or Bayley, and we know that again, Rhea is going to face Becky at Mania. So we know we can get to that. We could start building that from after the Rumble, and depending on who wins the Rumble itself. So luckily we got that out the way, because in terms of the women's division is what I was talking about. You got Shayna Baszler and Zoe Starks in like tag team right now. You got the Tegan Knox tag team. You got King Khan, Katana Chance. You got Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. Those are like, that might be the women's division. I can't think of another woman besides Nia Jax. That might be the match at the Rumble. Or they might just do. But you see, there's just a lot of possibilities, and we're going to get to that match as well. There's a lot of three women's matches on this show that two of them are kind of interesting for me, just because I want to see what Ivan can do, and the next one again we'll get to that because it's next. We'll want to talk about that next. So the women's division on Raw, he is trying to build it. Triple H is trying to build it, and he's trying to get all these different women over, etc. So we'll see what happens in terms of women's division. And like I said, which is why we need like a shakeup, because I mean SmackDown's got all the women, Raw kind of it's got women you need to build, and hopefully we can get some NXT call ups. Tiffany Stratton, there we go. She better get called up, by the way, after WrestleMania. So we'll see. But obviously we know that Rhea Ripley is going to win this match. Unequivocally going to win this match. So yeah, Next match, like I said, is Becky Lynch versus Rhea, not Rhea Ripley, Nia Jax. It's been a decent feud in my opinion. Never thought I'd be saying that about another Jax match. Do I care for? I don't know, man. Do we trust Nia in terms of a in ring performance? Absolutely the fuck not. Hopefully she doesn't end up injure Becky heading into Mania. We are in Mania, heading into WrestleMania. So um, we are definitely probably gonna get shenanigans. Um, like I'm predicting like a DQ finish with Nia Jax or count out, things of that nature, which is going to lead to another match maybe at the Rumble or later Raw, probably at the Rumble. Again, don't really know what they plan to do with the rest of the card after the two World Title matches and the two Royal Rumble matches. So we shall see what they do there. But like I said, it's been decent promos from Nia Jax. Becky Lynch been killing it on the mic. It's been a good feud. Not has been saying that Becky needs this more than she does, etc. So it's been better than expected. It's not totally horrible and has Nia Jax in it. So in my opinion, that's a dub. Um, yeah. So like I said, this has shenanigans written all over it. This has count out, DQ finish, something along those lines. I don't think either woman hits a pin in this scenario, which is why I think it'll probably be a count out. I don't know if I don't know. I don't know. I'm intrigued to see what they do. I am intrigued to see what they do. It probably might be actually a DQ finish with Nia Jax getting losing the match by DQ. So we'll see what happens. But now it's time to talk about the world title match, and we'll obviously finish it with who will be the former WWE champion that will be on the show. But we'll get to the world title match. Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre. Gonna put on another banger. I cannot wait for this match. Cannot wait for this match. Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre gonna put on another banger. And there's so many things that I think are gonna happen at the end of this show with this. I think the on-clock hour is gonna have whoever the world title guy is, because CM Punk is not scheduled for this show as far as I'm concerned, which is why I question what's gonna happen with who the former world champion is. I'm very excited to see who it is. For me, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. But in terms of this match, shenanigans again. No, I wouldn't say written all over in terms of the match itself. I think it's not gonna be like some of Seth's title defense versus Sammy and Jay, where they just let them go and then everything happens after. I think Sammy comes out and costs Drew the match, because I did see Sammy in live events. I think Sammy's gonna come back because if you remember, Drew took out Sammy for a couple of weeks, storyline injury, and so Sammy can go on a break. He's back now. Someone on the live event, I think it was the one MSG. So I expect Sammy to be back and cause shenanigans, cost Drew the match, which will lead to the Royal Rumble match between Drew and Seth for the World Heavyweight Championship. So I expect that to happen. Obviously, Seth retains. We know this. He's going to walk into. I don't know what this narrative is that, right, the probable match, right, 85%. If I'm putting it in numbers, 85% is probably going to be Rollins versus Punk for the World Heavyweight Championship main event of night one. I don't know who these people are saying that the feud doesn't need the title and Seth might drop the title, not to Drew, but in terms of a cash-in, which might happen, which I think is going to happen, and we'll get to that. But it definitely needs the title. It needs the title because Punk's story is winning he literally declared for the Rumble because his story is winning the Rumble and main eventing Mania. And all that has to do with the world title, who's the world champion, Seth Rollins. Fight it out who's the best in the world and win that world championship. It's about main eventing WrestleMania. So it damn right needs the title. It does. The whole point of Punk and the promo he cut and declaring for a Rumble is to main event WrestleMania. That's his goal. That's his story. To main event WrestleMania by winning the Rumble and guaranteeing his spot in the main event of WrestleMania and going after a champion, Seth Rollins. So of course it needs the title. So we know, and I've been preaching this since he won the title Night of Champions. It was, I knew, and people thought, oh, Finn might win it, Shinsuke. No, it's been Rollins. It was always gonna be Rollins, and all these people. I don't understand what you didn't see. He was always gonna carry this until Mania and drop it to Gunther, which was the plan at the time, until all the Punk things happened and Punk's here and things changed. It's probably going to be Punk, unless obviously Stone Cold comes back and ruins everything, because I don't want Stone Cold to ruin the match that I want, my dream match. Seth Rollins, CM Punk, main event, right one is perfect. Everything's perfect in that scenario. So again, I say that Seth obviously wins this match. I think Sammy might cost Drew because, kind of get back at Drew for what he did. And then after the match, I see a cash in. And with R-Truth, mending the Judgment Day, I don't think he cost Priest the cash in, but I think that it's gonna be some things related, obviously, with the Judgment Day with Finn, JD might maybe screw it up for Priest, maybe R-Truth. Just this could be the night that Priest finally actually cashes it in. He still won't win the title. Unsuccessfully cashes in, and again some shenanigans happens within the Judgment Day, which costs Priest the match against Rollins, in which Rollins retains and stays world champion. So that's what I think is going to happen with this match. Again, very excited for this match. I think it's going to be a great match. I think the promos leading up to it have been great. I think everything that Seth and Drew have done together has been, everything that Drew's done has been great since the heel turn, or since before the heel turn and after the heel turn. The things he's done with Seth have been great. So very excited for this match. Very excited for what we could see at the end of this show. And now we're going to get to what I think is probably going to be at the 9 o'clock hour on Monday Night Raw, which is who is the former world champion that WWE have in store, that Triple H has in store for this show. And I think it could be 3 people, could be an unknown, it could be other. It could be Batista, who could be being inducted to the Hall of Fame. So it could be that. Could be Batista returning, being inducted to the Hall of Fame. It could be that. Don't know if it is. Might not be. It could be Big E finally returning. It's been so long. And the thing is with Big E's return is that it might be like people might get disappointed because people love Big E and everybody be happy, but I think it might be like a disappointment. Kind of like the AEW the Devil reveal was. I will say, like, the lights going out just as the we now know the Devil's Adam Cole, who was there, and the lights just go out. Who switched off the lights? Exactly who did that? But that's not, we're not here to talk about that. But I'm not the biggest fan of Tony Khan's booking. He's not very good at it. I'm the biggest fan of AEW. But there was nothing really wrong with the mask reveal and who the Devil was. But people still found an issue with it. A lot of people still found an issue with it. And I don't get it. Adam Cole makes the most sense. And Adam Cole should have been the Devil. Who did you want it to be? And I think that people might get disappointed. Unless it's the third guy that I have, Stone Cold. I think it could be Stone Cold, which people will go crazy for. And I don't think anyone will be disappointed with that if it's Stone Cold Steve Austin returning. But if it's Big E, I think people might be disappointed because it's not Stone Cold, or it's not like whoever they have in their head. Like they're gonna hype it up, and that's when you lay it out to get disappointed. You give the chance to get disappointed when you hype something up so much and you expect something. It's gonna disappoint you. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have. If it's Big E, I'm gonna be happy. If it's Stone Cold, I'm gonna be happy in the moment seeing Stone Cold return, but it could lead to Punk. But Punk won't be on the show. That's the thing. That's why I don't think it's Stone Cold. It might not be Stone Cold because Punk won't be in the show, and the only reason he would come back would be for a Punk feud. But it could be him calling out CM Punk. So it's just so many things that it could be Stone Cold. It could be Big E. I hope it is Big E because it's been so long I miss Big E. It's been too long, and he deserves to come back. So, and it could be Biggie come back here for the Rumble, and yeah. So I don't know that those are the three options that I can. I don't know who else it could be. Um, maybe it's not gonna be Brock. That's just yeah. I don't know. I'm very excited to see who it's gonna be. Um, so yeah, day one of Raw looks like it's gonna be stacked. It looks very exciting. I'm very excited for it, especially after like a week of no professional wrestling, and I need it right now after fucking Cincinnati lost yesterday. I could just use some pro wrestling, some good pro wrestling. Raw, my favorite WWE show, definitely better than SmackDown in my opinion. Maybe it has my favorite wrestlers, and we could see on day one, obviously another story progression in terms of Shinsuke and Cody. We'll see what they do with that. So just a lot of things that could happen on the show. We'll see what Judgment Day do, and I'm very excited for the show. I hope you guys are too. I'm sure you are. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really enjoyed talking about it. I enjoyed this video. So click the like button, click the notification bell so you're notified when I upload. Obviously, subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.